Hi everybody, we're so happy to be back with you. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Christina, and here at A Wine Journey, you know what today is?
What?
It is International
Merlot Day!
So we are here celebrating Merlot.
Merlot. And I'm so excited about this one because I can kind of relate to this varietal. One of the most underrated, in my opinion, one of the most underrated grapes in the market today. And we are here to just give it some justice.
And to give it the credit that it deserves,
there
right?
There you go, like Rudy.
Oh, I love Rudy.
Merlot, Merlot, Merlot. Okay, let's get to business here. All right, so Merlot is a grape that originates in Bordeaux, France, and we're about to try a Bordeaux that has Merlot in it. Okay. But just a little bit about Merlot. If you're a Cabernet Sauvignon lover, you'll love Merlot. These two grapes evolve together and originate kind of from the same parents in the grape world, and they actually have evolved together and have similarities, but also fill in each other's kind of differences. So they're kind of like the stepbrothers of the wine world too.
Okay.
All right. So let's try this. We have a Bordeaux here that happens to be 85% Merlot.
Ooh.
And
85% Merlot.
85% Merlot.
And what is the name of this?
Chateau de la Rivière from Fronsac.
Chateau de la Rivière.
Rivière.
Ooh, I like it.
And just a little bit about Bordeaux. It's really interesting that there's a river that runs through Bordeaux, and it's kind of banks up against the Atlantic Ocean. Okay. If you are south of that river, Cabernet Sauvignon is king there. Ah. But if you go on the north side, what we call the right bank, Merlot is king. So it's always blended with Cabernet, Merlot, mostly always in some shape or form. Malbec's out there, Cab Franc, and a couple others. But that's kind of the distinction above the river and below the river. And this particular region is on the right bank, and because of that, it has heavy Merlot in it.
Very, very cool.
All right, exactly. That's it. Bordeaux is pretty cool.
All right, well, let's give it a whirl.
Let's give it a whirl.
Right away, the color.
The color is very distinctive. It has this purple hue to it.
I love that color.
Yep, yeah, me too. And maybe just like a little blue to it.
Oh.
If you look at it, right?
Yeah.
But definitely a purple hue and kind of deep, rich color.
Yes.
Similar to Cabernet Sauvignon.
That always means something exciting is about to happen.
It does.
Usually.
Something's about to happen here. All right, let's give it a sniff.
Ooh.
That is so good. So what do you smell there?
Well, I definitely pick up black fruit in this.
Okay, great.
Yes.
And can you be, what else?
Black cherry.
There you go. I love
absolutely. There's some.
You get like a black plum.
I do. I picked up the cherry note a little bit more than, and I know plum is typically what you would pick up when you, with a Merlot, correct?
Right, yeah. I definitely get this like rustic aroma to it.
That's what I was going to say. There's a very distinct smell that you pick up, and that is the perfect word to describe it, is rustic.
Rustic.
Absolutely.
Kind of like wet leaves, or kind of this, this real kind of, it feels like you're walking into a cabin or something that's been kind of lived in a little bit. Really definitely has character to it.
And you know what's interesting? I mean, we're fortunate enough that we've been able to go to France, but I mean, even if you've had a French wine before, I can tell this is a French wine.
Right.
Yeah.
The fruit is definitely not the front-facing thing on the aroma on this thing. And if you're anywhere else, especially in the United States, the fruit would be the front thing.
Amazing.
All right, you ready to give it a try?
I am. Chin chin.
Chin chin.
Chin chin.
What do you think? A lot of layers.
Ooh, it is. There are a lot of layers in this. The tannins are really interesting in this.
Definitely aged in French oak. I mean, you could get that oakness from it.
Yeah.
Merlot is strong just like Cabernet Sauvignon, so you could really put some new oak to it, which won't overbear it because it has some strong flavors to it. That rustic thing really came through to me.
It really did.
Dried, wet, like almost like a sweet tobacco taste to it. Acidity is not a big thing with Merlot, but you definitely, with this Bordeaux, you get some acidity through it. and the tannins are all over your
Dense.
gums and dense and very
Yes.
grippy.
I like that.
I like that too, but not overwhelming.
No, definitely not overwhelming. This is really lovely.
Yeah.
Really lovely. And this is the 2015.
2015, so it's holding strong.
And where did we get this?
We got this from our friend Brian over at Grapes and Grains here in Temecula.
Brian.
Thank you,
Chin
Brian, for this one.
chin.
This is definitely a treat for us, and so thank you for this
recommendation.
recommendation.
Yes.
From
Yeah.
the Right Bank Merlot or Bordeaux.
I like it.
Me too.
This is great.
All right, we're going to travel to another place really known for Merlot these days, and that's the state of Washington here in the United States.
I love that. So we traveled from France to France. Now we're going from France all the way to Washington.
All the way to Washington.
Gotcha.
Almost a similar, like Bordeaux or Frontenac, where this is about 44 degrees latitude.
Okay.
The Walla Walla, which is at the south tip of Washington, is about 46. So it's latitude-wise, it's pretty close.
All right. Walla Walla.
Walla Walla. But
And
we're
this
about
one is called Radius.
from the Walla Walla Valley in Washington State. I don't think we distinguish state. Not Washington, D.C.
Right.
Washington State.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, well, looking at this, the color still seems, it's a little bit different. It's not the same as the color of
What's
the,
different about it? It is.
Is it? Is it the same?
You
It
get
still
more.
has that beautiful, ruby red color. It
Yeah,
does,
this one's
but-
more vibrant though.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's almost glowing.
Something
so
about it was a little bit more. Okay, that
it'll
was
tell
the
you
word.
that it's a younger wine.
Ah,
So we just had a 15. This one's more vibrant.
okay.
To me, that tells me that it probably has youth on its side.
Okay.
And this is a 2000. What is this? 2018, I think.
Well, there you go.
2018.
2018.
So, but you could definitely see it in the way it looks, but it still has beautiful color.
It does. It still has beautiful color, but I knew there was something different.
Good eye. You're getting good at this.
I am.
All right, so let's give it a sniff.
I'm so proud of myself.
I'll give it a whirl.
Give it a whirl. We've been whirling.
We've been whirling.
Now we're sniffing.
I think that's a song.
Could be.
All right, so this is completely different.
I get a lot more of the fruit in this.
Yes.
For me, I do. I smell a lot more of the fruit.
I would say the same fruit, but in a different way. So this is like candied fruit.
Like a little bit more of a jamminess
Yeah,
to it.
jamminess, yeah.
Yes.
But I almost get like candied cherries, like
Yeah.
those candy cherries those hard candies
Like
that your
the-
grandma used to give
like
you.
like a lozenge, but not a lozenge.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
were candy. That's so true. And know what else I do pick up more on this is the plum.
Yeah. And like crunch berries.
He's picking all these like great comparisons.
All right, so let's give it a taste.
Chin
Chin
chin.
chin.
Chin chin.
Chin chin.
Right away. Fruit.
Fruit. I mean,
But-
yeah. If you're
So
standing
good.
on a stage, I kind of use this scenario a lot. If you're standing on a stage and you drank the Bordeaux that we had, the tannin and the kind of the oak take the front stage. So it's like the leader of that, or the star of that play.
Okay.
But in this one, the fruit is the star of the play. So it
True.
takes front stage, and it just really smacks you in the mouth. It's definitely
It
jammy.
does. It does, but it has a really good finish. I really think that this is as well a really great wine.
Yep. And the acid isn't as strong in this. Again, Merlot is not known for its acidity, but there's definitely acid in it, and the tannins, I think, carry that fruit all the way through, which give it a good finish.
That's exactly a great way to talk about that journey. It goes
Yep.
all the way through.
And Washington State, I think, is just one of those up-and-coming places that I like to buy wine from too, because they could grow a lot of different varietals there. It's a cool region because it's up north in the United States, close to Canada, obviously, but it actually gets a lot of sun, and a lot of that cool air that comes down is protected by a mountain range on the west side. So it actually gets the best of both worlds. It cools off in the night, so the acidity and the grapes can ripen well balanced, but it gets a lot of sun, so a lot of things grow really well in Washington State. And I think
I've
this is
never
a
thought
great
about-
example of that.
It is, and I've never actually thought about a wine destination being Washington State, but it can be, absolutely.
Definitely. And this is Walla Walla Valley in the south part of Washington. And there's actually a Walla Walla Valley that's part of Oregon too, so it kind of neighbors the two.
Fantastic. Well, Chateau de la Riviere,
There you go.
2015, and the Radius
from Washington State, Walla Walla.
2018. Beautiful journey
example.
through Merlots. Beautiful.
So we highly recommend Merlot, especially today for International
National
Merlot
Merlot
Day.
Day.
So grab yourself any bottle of Merlot, and we're sure you'll have a good time.
Cheers,
everybody.
Chin Chin. Merlot.
Merlot, Merlot, Merlot.